Welcome to this explainer. Today we're diving into a really incredible local legend that perfectly bridges ancient folklore with modern geological science. We're talking about the Nanma Fushigi, or the Seven Wonders of Nanma, and specifically Episode 3 of this lore, a terrifying historical force known as Shijūkyuu-ryū.
So I want you to think about this. Can a single prayer move a raging river 200 meters? It literally sounds like something out of a fantasy novel, right? But today we're looking closely at the case of Japan's Nanma River, where the answer to that exact question sits right at this fascinating intersection of a mysterious historical tragedy, desperate faith, and, well, geographical science.
All right, part 1, the legend of the raging river. Let's just dive right into the legend itself.
You know, to really get this legend, you have to understand the river itself. Most of the time, the Nanma River is quiet. It's peaceful with super low water levels. But history paints a completely different picture. In the past, this was known as a terrifying abare-gawa, a wild raging river. Locals actually nicknamed it Shijūkyuu-ryū, which translates to 49 streams. Why? Because when the massive floods hit, the river's path would shatter into these chaotic, unpredictable streams that just wiped out everything in their way. It was a totally wild, ever-changing force of destruction.
And sadly, that destructive force eventually led to immense tragedy. According to the historical records passed down through the generations, a massive flood swept through the area and claimed the lives of 9 villagers. You can just imagine the absolute heartbreak and despair of that community. With literally nowhere else to turn, the grieving villagers built a stone monument right beneath the riverbank. They gathered there to mourn, to pray for the souls of those 9 victims, and to just beg the heavens for safety from the waters.
Now here is where it gets crazy. The legend goes that the very next year, heavy rains returned. Another massive flood was bearing down on the village. But then, something miraculous happened. The river's course suddenly and violently shifted a full 200 meters to the west. Just like that. That sudden shift completely spared the surviving villagers and their homes from what would have absolutely been another total disaster.
If you go visit this area today, the original stone monument built by those villagers is unfortunately gone, but standing right near where it used to be is this amazing 300-year-old persimmon tree. It's massive, it's weathered, and it basically serves as a silent, living marker of the village's tragic history, marking the exact spot of their miraculous salvation.
Part 2, Geography Speaks, the river terraces. So how on earth does a river just move 200 meters overnight? Let's look at the science.
Take a look at these topographical maps of the Nishizawa town area provided by the Geospatial Information Authority of Japan. They reveal a pretty startling truth. If we trace the historical contour lines, we can actually follow the old paths of the river. We can see exactly where the water used to flow and how the terrain physically dropped and shifted over time. It's like these maps literally hold the fingerprints of the Shijūkyuu-ryū.
Geographically speaking, scientists classified this specific landscape as kagen-dankyu, or river terraces. These are stepped formations created over long periods by river flows cutting into the earth, eroding the banks, and leaving behind sediment. What these maps prove is that the river's sudden 200-meter shift wasn't magic. It was a severe but entirely natural topographical event. A massive erosion shift that just happened to perfectly time itself with the villagers' desperate prayers.
I think this just brilliantly illustrates how ancient communities processed extreme natural phenomena, right? They lived through this terrifying, life-altering reality of sudden river terrace formation, an event that literally reshaped their physical world overnight. By linking this huge geographical shift to their prayers at the monument, they essentially took a chaotic, terrifying act of nature and turned it into a really comforting legend about divine intervention. Moving on to Part 3, Modern Flood Control, the Nanma Dam. While our ancestors relied on stone monuments and prayers, today we've got something a bit more concrete.
41. To make absolutely sure that the tragedy of those 9 victims never ever repeats itself, the region recently finished building the massive Nanma Dam, and this modern marvel holds back a staggering volume of water. We're talking the equivalent of 41 Tokyo domes.
Let's just take a second to appreciate the sheer scale of this thing. It's a concrete-face rock-filled dam, standing an imposing 85 meters tall. Its total water storage capacity is 51 million cubic meters. So there's your 41 Tokyo domes. And what's really cool is how new this all is. The dam officially began its initial water filling process, a phase known as impounding, just recently in November of 2023, which is the 5th year of the Reiwa era. This massive concrete structure acts as the ultimate modern protector. It has finally permanently tamed the wild, unpredictable Shijūkyū-ryū that once completely terrorized these local communities. The chaotic days of the 49 streams, they're totally over, replaced by calm, controlled modern water management.
So, you see, the miracle of the shifted river gave ancient villagers hope, but today's engineering gives us absolute certainty. As we wrap up this explainer on the Nanma 7 Wonders and see how easily these mysteries can be unlocked by topographical maps and concrete dams, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many other ancient supernatural local mysteries are out there, just waiting for geography and modern science to step in and uncover their true stories? Thanks so much for learning with me today, and hey, keep exploring the wonders in your own backyard.